Jason Light, the general manager of the Buccaneers, and Bruce Arians, the head coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, are in a full court press for Tom Brady to become a Buccaneer next year. They got weapons. They got a team. You bring Antonio Brown down there. You got a quarterback whisperer, head coach, and also another quarterback whisperer in Clyde Christensen, who's the quarterback coach down there. He's been with Peyton. He's been with Luck. He's been around a long time. That offense, that team who made a run this year that nobody expected while their quarterback was throwing 30 interceptions would be a wild move. You automatically jump into Drew Brees' conference, but you don't have to play against Patrick Mahomes in the AFC ever. I mean, this seems like that could potentially happen. The Niners still on the board. The Titans, the Raiders, all these things are still possible with Tom Brady. And how much will COVID-19 affect any of this? I'm not sure any, because what Dan Orlovsky said, technology in 2020 is nice. I assume they'll be FaceTiming with each other. But Tom Brady has a massive decision, and the rest of the free agency pieces kind of fall into place, I think.
Yeah, and I almost always forget that Antonio Brown and Tom Brady are now best friends. If you add Antonio Brown to that offense with Godwin and Mike Evans, I don't think it's an understatement saying that's probably the best wide receiver core that's ever played together.
And Bruce Arians will be able to get along with Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown probably has already played.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
At Pittsburgh. Hey, Bruce might have been there before.
Ago.
Bruce might have been there before. But Bruce Arians is a guy who has street cred. He's a guy that is liked by players. He is a guy that, even though he can be a hard ass every once in a while, Antonio Brown will like him. I assume he'll play well for him. Tom Brady goes to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers potentially. And they're the Buccaneers. Now, the Raiders released a statement that they were willing to pay him $30 million a year or something like that. That got leaked somehow shortly after the UFC fight. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers information that's getting leaked from them is like, yep, we're ready to go all in to get Tom Brady. And they have the fourth highest salary cap, as our friend Dan Orlovsky said in the first hour. That team would be fun to watch, good for Tampa Bay to potentially get a squad back, because they have been the most losing franchise in NFL history. 0.3 something win percentage. I mean, they are at a bad spot.
Bruce was the OC for AB's first 2 years in Pittsburgh. And on Schefter's podcast this offseason, he said there's too much miscommunication, too much diva. I like Antonio, who plays as hard as anybody on Sunday and practice just as hard. He's just got to make better decisions off the field, be on time, do some of those little things.
See, that's a guy that already knows Antonio Brown, though. He's already worked with Antonio Brown, which is probably a big deal for Antonio Brown. And I assume they had success together, which means Antonio Brown would trust him. Maybe that would be a perfect fit.
He knows Antonio Brown, though. He doesn't know AB.
It's true.
It's the T.O. Terrell Owens.
I think that's a real thing with AB.
I just got home from the NO. He would love to go into the New Orleans Saints division, by the way, since he's not happy that they brought him in for a workout and what he said was a publicity ploy. But if Antonio Brown, Mike Evans, Bruce Arians is drawing up plays, they have a good offensive line. Tom Brady's down there. That defense, I mean, are the Tampa Bay Buccaneers all of a sudden contenders as soon as that happens? I think so. And that's what happens when Tom Brady gets in your building. You immediately become contenders. That's why anytime you hear reports that teams aren't interested in Tom Brady, you just have to go ahead and say, oh, like this person is lying directly through their teeth.